there's some people out there, that they just don't know how to find answers to those questions because there ain't no way they're going to their teachers. There might as well be other pastors. They ain't gonna go to church and ask this question. Ain't gonna go in a mass, Father. How do I bust a nut? So they go to where? They go to Google, my man.
Right.
And just the idea of this happening is so funny. So someone told me that their friend, they saw their Google search history and all right, everybody, we actually know what the episode number is now, so we can start the introduction a whole lot earlier. Hello, everyone. Welcome to MFO, My Fucking Opinion, with my boy Tom. This is episode 8, and it's been a nice week, Weather's been good.
Yeah.
I don't have a fucking headache from it going from 45 and cloudy to
usually
sunny.
you're so in depth with the or so in tune with the environment that when it changes too much, you feel that, right, on a deep level. Yeah.
Spiritual.
I don't have that.
You don't have that?
No. I'm working on it.
After my hike in the mountains at one time, I really got in touch with my spiritual side.
Right.
And it's my superpower now.
Sure.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's not really a power.
Kind of shitty superpower.
I just know that if I start getting a headache the next 3 days, it's either gonna be really nice or really shitty. First thing, do you just want to jump right into it? Because I want to talk about it.
Yeah, sure. Definitely.
So everyone probably, if they haven't seen it, has heard about, what is it called? The Last Dance?
Last Dance. Yeah.
It's the MJ documentary.
Yep.
Essentially. Just a very in-depth look at every single aspect of his life from his perspective and anyone that was ever around.
Mostly his perspective.
Yeah. Mostly his perspective. But essentially, I haven't seen a single episode, and I don't give a shit because one, I do think that they didn't, I don't know if they rushed it, but they definitely figured out that, oh shit, there's nothing else on.
So do you kind of know the backstory, I guess, of how this sort of came to be?
It was something along the lines of he had this footage for the longest time.
So I think it was actually Adam Silver, who's now currently the commissioner of the NBA, but at the time, he was something else in the league office. But he basically approached MJ saying, hey, when it was 1998, when everybody kind of knew that it was probably going to be kind of the last season for that iteration of this great Bulls team that had just won basically, I mean, not basic, because 5 championships, and we're about to try to three-peat again. Basically went to him and said hey, how about we film everything this season?
That's why it's called The Last Dance.
Yeah. So,
but he was sitting on this footage for
that's the
years.
thing. The deal was that MJ agreed to it, but he also, from what I understand, said I get final cut of what's released type of thing. So he has final say in how what footage is used, and it's kind of a weird thing that it was documented as this thing that was going to be so many hours of never before seen footage of this season of the 1998 season, and it was going to give you an inside look at the Bulls you've never seen before type of thing. But obviously, I mean, it doesn't seem like that's really the case. It was kind of advertised as an in-depth look as at just the 1998 season and that team.
But it's not, right?
It's not at all.
It
jumps
him.
around. It's it always the episodes slowly work through the 1998 season, but then it jumps around also going back to MJ's college days and then his rookie year and going through his championships. Kind of it's kind of two almost plot lines moving throughout
simultaneously, but they're at different times.
It's
have you learned anything extremely new, or is it just? And I think a part why I don't care as much is because, for one, I just recently got into sports, so I don't really have that much of it. I understand the impact MJ had. Obviously, I'm not gonna say this man did not just completely change the game, but I can see that and say that sentence and that be the end of it. I don't think I've ever been how did he change the game? No, he was just a good ass basketball player and he was very, very competitive,
Mhm.
and he had ice in his veins more than Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
But when it comes to different documentaries, like To Make a Murder or Tiger King, like that shit I just never knew about.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that it does kind of feel like, I'm a big NBA fan and have, like, heard, like, a lot of stories about MJ and stuff, and it kinda feels like, none of this is, like it's, like, cool to see, like, them talk about it and stuff, like, the people who are actually involved in a lot of these, like, games and situations, but I'd say there's very few things that, like, I had never at least, like, heard of before,
And that's my
you know?
thing.
Like
And this was on and another reason why I think all this shit is like I would say it's smart on the people who made it. I would
oh,
say
yeah,
it's very
'cause,
smart
they
because it was
capitalized
on
on
TV. When was the last thing that you can remember that was on cable television
like this.
like
It's
this
like
that everyone
yeah,
watched?
yeah.
Because the last thing I remember that everyone watched every week
American
was
Idol.
American Idol and then Game of Thrones before it got shit.
Yeah,
But people still watch that together at the end.
right.
But then you had like I don't even know The Bachelor maybe, but that was like mostly girls. Like I
Yeah.
just don't know. Like it was really smart of them because I bet you they were like, we have to do something crazy with this, and they
Well, yeah,
knew that
they moved up the date that it was gonna release when, like, the world shut down.
because
Yeah.
everything was shut down. No one's doing anything. What is one thing everyone has? Cable, at least nowadays.
Well,
Because I think
people
there's
are
no.
cutting the cord. It's
You really think Netflix? I want to know what the deal
I think it's
was.
on Netflix also, right?
It is right. It
Yeah.
is now. It wasn't at. I think the first 4 episodes weren't.
Yeah.
I think the first 2 or 3 weeks that it was out, it wasn't on Netflix, but now it is. But I bet you every single streaming service had a fat ass check trying to get it to solely be on that one streaming platform. But someone was smart and they said, no, we're all gonna watch this shit together, and I'm gonna get commercial ad revenue and
Oh, yeah.
everything under the sun, and then I'm gonna have you pay me so I can put it on
Yeah.
your streaming platform. Because what else are you gonna do? Like, there's nothing. And I'm not interested. I mean, maybe I'll watch it later. But
Yeah.
how long are these episodes?
I was thinking about it, like, they're an hour long each. That's the thing. Like
2 hours of your time.
Yeah.
It starts at what, 8 o'clock?
yeah. Well,
And-
no, 9 maybe? I don't know. One
So
of
by
those, yeah.
11, you're done
Mhm.
finding out some shit you can Google.
Basically. I heard somebody say that, like, it's just basically, like, a documentary about Michael Jordan's Wikipedia page. Like, it's
That's
it's like, yeah, we kind of know these
Someone's
stories, I
reading
guess,
the
but
wiki page, I was like, yo, he calls up someone, yo, you got that footage?
Yeah. That's like my sort of criticism of it watching it kind of is that it kind of like MJ kind of goes out and like attacks a lot of these guys like who he played against or had interactions with, and like it's very like even though MJ is still kind of portrayed as kind of an asshole because he is kind of an asshole.
Is he?
Yeah, well, yeah,
I mean, no,
that was kind of his whole thing was that like
he didn't give a shit.
his like teammates like in the documentary, they say that like he was an asshole at the time, and they look back and like now they're like, yeah, he was one of the best teammates because he pushed you to be as good as you could. But
Yeah.
that was annoying at times and required him to be like a complete jerk. Like he's like punching guys in practice and like things like that.
Oh
where,
shit!
Yeah,
Damn, he's throwing some
yeah.
hands.
No, literally, yeah. But
But like, dude,
there's just one thing that really kind of irked me last week. I don't know why. Just they were talking about, I forget which finals it was, but the Bulls were playing the Sonics. And basically they went up like 3-0, and then the Sonics won 2 straight. Basically, they said it was because they put Gary Payton on MJ, who is like regarded as like one of the best defensive guards of all time. But they were kind of like not using him on MJ to like save him for offense. And
someone
which
realized
is
like maybe we should
yeah.
do that. We should probably put him
But
on.
you look at the stats and like it's pretty clear that MJ played much worse in like the 3 games where Gary Payton was covering him versus the 3 games where he wasn't. And like, they show this clip of Gary Payton talking about it, how he was like, yeah, like I feel like I had MJ's number a bit in that game. I feel like I was playing him pretty well. Like, he's tough to play, but I really felt like, I was doing a good job, like being physical with him, like making him work for everything, type of thing. Like saying like with respect, kind of like having fun, like still like just looking back on like, yeah,
some good
like,
ass basketball.
yeah. But then like they show So they do this thing too, where like they show like a clip of a guy talking, and then they show MJ the clip, like, and you see MJ react to it.
Is that why all those memes of him
Yeah,
just holding the
yeah,
iPad?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's a
So
weird.
they show MJ this clip, and MJ just starts like laughing, and he's like, "Nah, that Gary Payton, like he's talking here, but he had no effect on me." And it's like because he put it forward that he had a lot of other things going on in his life, like,
Oh, of course you
and
do.
to be fair, like his dad had died in previous like
I
off
take
season,
that. I take that statement I
right?
just said back.
And like basically, they ended up clinching, winning the finals on Father's Day. Was kind of like the added like a storyline there, but like still, MJ like I don't know, just the way that like he basically like shrugged off Gary Payton, like disrespecting him there. I was like, come on, man, like just
It's like your
so
one
the
time.
guy was able to like kind of cover you
It's like
one
your one
time,
time to
like
be
yeah,
honest about something that happened like
yeah,
25, 30
yeah, and
years
he's like,
ago.
nah, I don't even like that. They call him the glove, like he had no impact.
Nah, I didn't just like
So
score
meanwhile, you see like
15
his
points
stats
less.
like shooting like 30% against him or something. Like,
Well, I was just like that type of individual is
yeah.
just you can't really, and it's kind of like you can't really fault people for that. Like that's some reason why.
Oh, and that's like one of the things that made MJ, is that
Yeah,
like he didn't believe that anybody like could stop him
people
or
give
did stop him.
LeBron shit for
Like,
the same thing.
yeah,
It's like, okay, dog,
yeah,
he obviously is passionate about this sport. He's really good at the sport he's passionate about. So if you fuck up, okay, maybe he will say something about it and he won't hide how he knows. That's something I really hate. When people fuck up, but it's like it's rude to
point it
tell
out.
them.
Mm.
And I know that there's a
Well,
way
there's
that
different
you
ways to
there's
go
different ways to
about
go
it,
about
type
it.
of yeah.
Sometimes I really do just like saying it, just like, yo, you fucked up. Can we just move on and like you don't do the same thing again? That's the way I think my mind works on small shit. Like
Mhm.
not like if it's emotional stuff, like real shit, I'm not gonna do that, obviously. Like I think that'd be a really fucked up thing to do. You just out of nowhere, I don't know, what's something emotional that could happen? Like let's say someone got really fucked up one night because they broke up with their significant other, and then
Sure,
they got really blackout drunk, and then they like started punching walls or going off.
sure.
The next day, it'd be really shitty of me to be like, "Yo, you really stupid, dog."
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you can't do that. Like that'd be really fucked up. But if you're playing especially playing a sport, because everything's so finite, you either do this because we do it in practice, and if you fuck it up because you weren't paying attention or you
Yeah.
were late to practice or something along those lines, I feel like it's not the worst thing in the world to tell someone, yo, you're fucking up right now. Now, sometimes you can get nitpicky. Like, I understand that. Because I was, when I played basketball in, what is it, 8th grade, I was just too nervous every time. So anytime I fucked up, like maybe someone passed me the ball and I was thinking too much about the fact that I had to catch the ball that I actually didn't end up catching the ball at all.
Yeah, you were like
And then,
moving before you caught it type of
yep. And
thing.
then people
Yeah,
like, come
yeah,
on, man. And
yeah,
I would be like, you're right. And that's
yeah.
why I only have 1 year under my belt. But I don't know. I kind of like people. I'm not gonna say I am that kind of person because like sometimes I do think it's good to let stuff just kind of go under the rug. But I do appreciate people who do understand when to use that kind of mentality.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah,
That's why most of the time they're bosses or
yeah.
CEOs or something like that.
They're the alphas. Yeah.
Well, like the
It's all the
criminal
chads.
criminal
It's
minds alphas. You know that?
oh yeah. When there's like two serial killers, it's like,
Dude,
oh, one's the alpha,
fucking there's like one's the
one's the
alpha,
submissive.
and then reads it's like actually I think they both might be alphas. So it's like, what do you mean, Reed? Dude, that fucking show. I've been watching every time I go back home.
Yeah.
My mom and my younger brother, they're watching it
Oh
too.
really? Yeah.
And they're on like season 6 right now.
Okay.
Episode 13. And stuff is getting more personal with each character.
Yeah.
I think the brunette chick, she used to be some spy or something like that, and now that whole
What?
storyline's coming out. Shamor, what the fuck is his character name?
Fuck.
Just handsome black man. That's what
Yeah,
we're
I
gonna call him.
gotcha. Yeah.
He saved this kid one episode, and then she's popping up every so often now.
Okay.
It's just like you're starting to notice how
They're starting to realize like, oh, maybe we should have like a overarching plot go. Like,
something
it's
like that. Like each season, I can tell now,
Yeah.
or each half
Yeah.
season is attributed to one character, but they're still giving you this not basic, but like the serial killers are just doing something serious.
Right.
Later seasons, bodies drop. Like there's this one episode where this one serial killer is like, he drops like maybe, I think I counted, it was like 19 to 20 people.
Jeez.
And I told my mom before we watched the episode, I was like, you know what's different between Criminal Minds and every other show out there? Like Law and Order and CSI and NCIS and whatever the IS is out there, there are going to be some deaths. Like, you know, but they're rarely ever double digits.
Dude, yeah, it's
Criminal Minds.
They're not afraid to kill.
They're
people.
not afraid to kill anyone.
Yeah, yeah.
The detective, you know how there's always the character that is the detective that is the head of the department,
The like local detective who's like, you know, this is our town.
This is our turf.
You don't understand how it works around here, type of thing.
I know I called you.
It's like,
what makes you think you're better than
profile?
Me? How is that
What's
gonna
a
help?
profile?
They always say, "What is
Unsub?"
that?" Don't. Doesn't the news work in that world? Like, shouldn't they realize that they've done this so many times that they shouldn't be questioning stuff? Dude, there's this one time. There's so many times where I look at the show and I'm like, all right, okay, this guy seems like he has a lot more lines than the other dudes. He might die. Morgan.
That's his name.
That is his name.
Yeah.
Hey, baby girl. That is the one form of like workplace harassment that has been so fined on TV that no one, I don't think,
because she gives it right back, you know.
Yeah, but like, I mean, to have a work husband or a work marriage, apparently
work
that's
flirt.
a real
work
flirt.
Yeah,
is that what you've called?
That's what I've heard it called. Yeah,
I heard it. I heard it like a work husband. That's what I saw on the internet somewhere, and I was like, "What is that? What is this?" Like, so you're basically back in high school now, where you're kind of flirting in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
And that is exactly what you can say it is. It's literally, hey, we have a very similar personality and we connect with each other very well. We can kind of flirt. But there's no way we're going to be ever like together because that'd be weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what that, like what?
Yeah, I can't imagine like having that sort of like, hey baby girl, like type of thing, like in real life, like
But maybe that's why that man's so smooth.
Right,
he can get
thing. That's the thing.
Right?
I'm nowhere near smooth as him.
I'm nowhere near smooth as him. That man's got it going on. The way he says it, I'm always like, man, that's so endearing. But I feel like some other people would say, hey, baby girl. I heard it on Criminal Minds. What? You heard it on Criminal Minds? Damn, man. Nah. I think that show, I definitely appreciate it more than other shows.
I got through like season 4 and like I haven't really been watching it recently.
It's hard to binge. That show's hard to binge. Like
when it was
easy.
New and like I hadn't seen any episodes before that, I was like, all right, like I can binge this. But now it's like it's kind of like very repetitive to the type of like we've talked about where it's like, you know, it's like they hunt a serial killer, you know, and then you know they have some personal. Maybe like Reed sees himself in the serial killer or something like that, and then it's that whole conversation. It's like, you know, what makes us different from them? You know, are we like what is God real? Like how can this you know, like all those like themes start popping up like every single episode.
Catch the bad guy,
like,
bro.
Right, we get it. Like
no, dude, I can see that back in the day when it came out each week, and then you had periods. I can see people getting caught up with it.
Yeah,
but watching it back to back to back, I've noticed we noticed the beginning of the episode either starts off with someone dying or it starts off with a personal story from one of the main characters.
Right.
But it
like
always somewhere in there someone gets killed.
Yeah.
They get a call, JJ, you know, hey guys.
Yeah.
This is happening in Wichita or whatever. And you're like, oh shit, we gotta, so then you have
the first little nice workplace banter, you know, then JJ comes in with the assignment.
Oh, you're right. So then there's the airplane scene.
Yeah.
The quote at the beginning of the episode. And then once they land, they
the local detective.
Why are you here? We called you.
Yeah, why are you here? Who is not completely sold on the idea of profiling.
Or they are sold,
right,
which gives them more points to die. Because if they agree with them,
They're more likely to die.
They're more likely to die. That's what I've
'Cause then
noticed.
yeah,
Like if
yeah,
they're combative,
yeah,
they don't die
yeah.
because they have to learn the lesson at the end
Right.
of the episode. But
Right,
if
they
they
have to
do
have their
like them,
comeuppance,
there's
yeah.
no lesson,
Right.
just death.
Yeah.
So then 2 more people
Oh,
die.
that's why real life also, you always disagree with the FBI coming in, makes for a
Yes.
better story, and then you
It
survive.
keeps you alive
Yeah.
a little bit longer. So yeah, dude, and then it's like, 3 more times someone dies, and then Garcia maybe finds something crazy.
Mhm.
Then they go chase them down, and either they catch them right before they kill someone, or they just kill someone and
Or
they go butt
they're
crazy.
just slightly too late.
Yeah,
And
and
then
then that's one of the sad episodes.
right. And then, or the other way is either Garcia makes a break, or they'll find a clue. They'll be sitting there talking about, man, they just killed someone else. Like, man, we really got to get this guy. And then, they're looking at the board and Reed's just
No,
like,
someone says something like,
yeah.
I
And
just
someone's
don't
I'm
understand
gonna
why
go.
every crime scene
Yeah.
smells like pineapples.
Yeah.
And Reed's like,
I'm going to go get lunch. And Reed's like, lunch?
what?
Hold on. I had a sandwich yesterday. That sandwich had cheese. The crime scene had a fridge. Cheese is stored in a fridge.
Guys, I got it. The unsub hates refrigerators. You're like, what do you mean? He's like, he's attacking everyone who's bought a new refrigerator.
Have you read insert some book by like a philosopher or some shit? And it's like
insert the page number and the paragraph. Yeah, dude. Oh man, but it's just like it's such a weird. Oh my gosh, it reminds me of. Have you seen the new series on Netflix? Outer Banks.
No.
So it's been pretty
that looks
popular.
too cringy. I don't know.
It's I personally watched the whole thing. I personally enjoyed it.
Really? Okay.
But it
just from like the cover and stuff. It just seems like it's like a teen drama or some shit that like, I don't really want to.
It's TV. It's TVMA.
Okay.
So they don't have to hide back behind the TV-14. Like so when like Riverdale was TV-14. So shit just got really weird and not real.
Right.
Outer Banks has real shit. Like there's real problems.
Okay.
Like the main character's father's dead. So he's living on his own and a hurricane just hit the Outer Banks. So social child services can't come get him. So he's just by himself hanging with all of his friends in Outer Banks. And the whole story revolves around the dad trying to go find this sunken ship that has a shit ton of gold. And he died or he disappeared before, people ever knew what happened. And the story revolves around how the main character, JB, and all of his friends go out and they have this like little kind of like, it's not really Scooby-Doo mystery because that's one part of the story. The other part of the story is about how
Scooby-Doo mystery.
One part of the Outer Banks is full of rich people, like the rich white, I wear golf tees and I play golf, that kind of people. And then you have the poor side, which is like the workers and yada yada. Yeah. It's called Pogs and Kooks. Pogues and Kooks. That's how they separated at the beginning of the series. And you can tell that the show really leans into different issues. There's like parental abuse because one of the main characters' dads is an alcoholic and like they lost their mom and he just like he really does like and you see him beat the shit out of the son. And you're just like, shit, dog, this shit's real. And then you see how the Kooks really do be laying it in on the Pogs because like they think they're better and they think that you don't deserve to be on our golf course and shit like that. So like the real issues in the story are amazing. Another thing I love about it is the dialogue. Like it's the only show I've seen recently that most of the time the dialogue between the friends doesn't sound weird.
Right.
Like it sounds actually funny.
It sounds like kind of like normal. I feel like I feel like normal dialogue sounds weird though sometimes.
But it sounds nice when because like when I heard it, I was like, I feel like I talk like this with all my when we give our friends shit, like let's say one of our friends wanted to go see the girl. We'd be like, oh, you're gonna go see a girl, and he's like, no, dude, we're just gonna talk. Like, oh, you're gonna talk, all right? Yeah. Like that's the kind of banter they have in the TV show, and that's what I love. And the characters are so believable. The actors are amazing. The things that don't work is that they're still doing this thing. They're hiring 27-year-olds to play 16-year-olds. Yeah. And you're just like, what is this? Like, you obviously don't look 16. Like, your ass looks like you have just recently bought a house.
Yeah, I feel like that always skewed my perception of, like, what, like, high school and college people looked like. You know what I
The
mean?
TV show,
Well,
yes.
yeah, because like you grow up like watching like like Spider-Man. It's a great example. The Tobey Maguire one, where like they're it's
Yes.
supposed to be in like high school and like they all just look like
25.
28. Like, but like, you actually get to high school and you're like, wait, these
Wait a
people
second.
don't look like the people in Spider-Man. Like, what's going on here? Like,
Damn,
like,
dude.
you get to college and like it's still like, wait, everybody still just looks like 18. Like, what's the
That's
when
so
do we start
true.
looking 28?
Then you're 21, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I can't have fun anymore. No, it's definitely because once you're over the age of 21, the hours you can start acting, you can work more hours.
Yeah.
Like if you're under the age of 18, I'm pretty sure that you can only work a certain amount of hours.
Yeah, it's probably child
And-
labor laws. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
No, that bullshit, you know?
don't get me
Dude,
started.
give me my show authentic. I don't care if
Yeah,
you have to put those kids through the
honestly,
ringer.
yeah, right.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
want real TV.
So that's those aspects are good about the show. The thing that's really shitty about the show is that it's TVMA when it wants to be. It's like TVMA when they talk about real issues, like the parental abuse, the living on your own and you don't have any parents, like the fact that some parts of the island get electricity but other parts don't just because of like, wage gap and, stuff like that. It's real like that. And people suffer and people have to work harder if they don't have benefits, yada,
Yeah.
yada, yada. Real shit. It's TV 14 when the plot needs to progress. And when they have a storyline that's going somewhere and they don't know how they're going to end it. So they just kind of say, oh, let's just have this happen.
Yeah.
Do you care? I mean, I don't want to spoil.
No, I
for
don't.
the people.
If I'm being honest, I'm probably not gonna watch it. But
Okay,
maybe I
so-
will if I like. What do you spoil here?
So
I'll see, yeah.
there's one part where at the beginning of the series, there's these two mystery guys that kind of show up. There's like two burly guys and they start like trying to chase the kids down.
Okay.
And they're trying to like, shoot at them because we as the audience and the main characters kind of have an idea that they're looking for the gold too.
Okay.
So they kind of show up out of nowhere and
Yeah.
they're just like, what the fuck? What are we going to
But they're not looking for the gold.
Oh no. They are.
Oh,
They
okay.
just they die like episode 3.
Oh.
And like you're trying to like everyone's like, okay, yeah, no, they're dead. But they don't bring it up for like 3 more episodes. And then by the end you find out who killed them. They just brush it off and they just say like, oh yeah, no, I killed those guys. So then you're just like, what the fuck? That was like a very prominent and they
So
tried
it wasn't like you didn't think there's enough like payoff almost on like
Oh,
that sort of.
it was just so like, okay, these guys, they
Yeah.
have no more use.
Yeah.
Let's just kill them.
Yeah.
Another thing, one of the main characters, let's say that they start having relations with one of the other characters, and let's say a third party gets in the way, or they find them. They, the jig is up. So then, through series of arguing and pushing, someone falls off of a bird's eye nest. Whatever.
Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty steep fall because you see the tower. It's a huge ass tower. The only thing that happened was he got a slight hairline fracture. And you see the distance.
You could
dog, you see the
lucky fall.
lucky fall.
Yeah.
And then okay, so this is where it gets TV 14.
Right.
He has this cast on for the rest of the like 4 episodes left. He doesn't give a shit that he has a cast. He is going in the messiest marshes. He is going in dirty water. He's just like not taking care of it. He's riding bikes, falling asleep.
kind of.
You're just like, wait a second. We just had a conversation. Like you're showing bruises from the guy getting beat up by his dad, and you're trying to make that a really big selling point. But at the same time, this guy's wearing a cast, and nothing's happening to his.
Yeah.
I saw that. The first thing in my mind was like, man, that's just gonna get dirty, right? Like you gonna get infected. Like
Right.
you should probably not do that. I don't know. It's a really, but I like the show because it doesn't do the normal bullshit. It doesn't do the Riverdale bullshit or like any teen high school, whatever you could probably think of.
Right.
It's actually pretty. It's as grounded as the show like that can be.
That's fair.
Which is
Might
not
check
bad.
it out.
I would watch the first. I'd watch the first episode. I think you like it.
I might. Maybe not.
I mean,
Maybe not.
it's your choice.
Yeah.
It's your choice.
But it's your opinion.
It is my opinion,
all
and
right.
I think my opinion is you should. I think people should. Watch.
Okay.
It's the number 2 show on Netflix in America, so I don't really
Right.
think people are gonna.
I don't trust the polls. I don't trust
You
the
don't-
masses. You know this. But one thing I watched last week was Solar Opposites. Remember what it's called? You seen Rick and you watch Rick and Morty, right?
Oh, is that the alien one?
It's like the Like I guess Justin Roiland, whatever the fuck,
Hmm.
guy who like voices everybody in Rick and Morty, like made this show. And it's basically like the same exact animation style, and it was kind of like
Is
it's
it set in the same?
they don't like say exclusive that, but like sure, why not, right? Rick and Morty is fucking so many different like realities and things like that, and like
It could be,
right, yeah.
but they're never gonna
They don't
say.
they don't exclusively link it, at least in this season, but it was
Hmm.
it was interesting. It was actually pretty good. It started off a little. I thought it was a little like too Rick and Morty esque, especially because like one of the main guys is like basically just Rick as an alien. Like
Hmm.
it's basically like the same voice and everything too.
The
So
one
it's
dude in
like
the trailer, that guy.
yeah.
It's the same voice.
It's
That must.
basically like
Is
the
that
same
weird to?
exact.
Is it weird
It's
to
like a
watch?
slightly different, I guess, but it's still like basically Rick.
Hmm.
So it took a little bit while to like get used to like that wasn't Rick. But honestly, like I thought that the best part of that show was like this like subplot that they had going in like every single episode, just for like 2 minutes. That like the one young boy alien would just, if any like human like pissed him off like ever so slightly, he would just like shrink them with like a shrink ray, and then put them in his wall. Like so, he had just like hundreds of humans just like living in his wall. Right? They like build like their own like society and stuff, and like there's a whole like class system, and then like they do like a whole episode where it's like about like the class war that's going on like in his wall. And, like
Oh snap!
I don't know, it's just like such like a funny little like side tangent that they just kept on like slowly developing every episode, and then like they just like devoted a whole episode to it. You can say this like intense like class war going on, then you just see like the aliens like walking around like outside the wall, and just kind of like
So it
it's
sounds like
just so like
a more grounded Rick and Morty.
no, I mean it's still like the same like dumb like weird kind
Well,
of.
grounded in the
It's the
sense
same
that
sort of
like
humor. It's the same like
same humor, but like each episode kind of does lead into another. Not as episodic
oh
as Rick and Morty.
well
At
no
least
it is also pretty episodic.
okay.
But just like there's like this one like kind of continuous plot that like for the first like 6 episodes or so there's only like 1 or 2 minutes of
How many
in each
episodes are there
episode. There's 8.
in season one?
Yeah.
That's
And they eventually just throw like a whole entire episode in there about like the class war that's going on like in this kid's wall. Like
that's good.
it was like such like a cool little like I
Because
don't
Rick
know
and
like
Morty,
side plot going on that I was like, all right, like this is the best part by far.
I'm
Like
not saying Rick and Morty's falling off, but I think they kind of fell into the trap. Because like the Rick and Morty audience kind of sucks.
oh yeah.
It's like one of the worst.
Oh yeah.
I thought Game of Thrones fans were bad,
Mm.
but like, no, I thought documentary fans were bad. Like,
Is that like a class of like are people just like fans of documentaries? I
yes,
feel like
dude.
it's like
If like when To Make a Murder came out,
mm.
there was
Is
like
that a documentary?
yeah
Oh,
on
I didn't even
Netflix.
know that.
It's a pretty good one. And then like Wild, I mean, like they're good. Documentaries are good.
Yeah.
Like Free Solo is amazing.
Mm.
But
I
like,
haven't
there's
seen that.
people out there like I call them like the documentary fans
Mhm.
because they just like you need to see this. Why are you just watching fictional stories? You need to fucking watch this documentary.
Watch
Like,
real
come on,
stuff.
watch something real. I'm like, yo, you are just fucking obsessed with the idea that this shit was filmed in real life. The story is still fabricated, no
Mhm.
matter how. The only way you could really like this is a side tangent, but after trying to, this actually leads into the next thing I wanted to talk
All
about.
right, sure.
Like when you create something, like when you film something, or even if you animate something, and it's like documentaries kind of have this like weird, it's like I don't know, I call it a battle because, for example, the more recent one, Tiger King,
Mhm.
they tried to tell everything just like it was, but even though you could still see the like way they swayed everyone's opinion on
Yeah,
like which one it
definitely.
is,
Yeah,
which one
yeah.
it, who's the bad guy, who's like
And so I
doing
didn't think
bad
they
things.
tried to really. I think they definitely just tried to make it like which obviously it is an interesting story, but I don't think it was like complete, journalistic integrity, if you want to put it that way.
I don't
Like,
think so either,
yeah.
and I think something as crazy as that story. I don't even know if like because you kind of run into the problem of like what if the truth is just doesn't sound real?
Exactly.
Like what if
yeah.
you have to like
Or it's not that
make
interesting. It's
yeah something like that where it's just
like,
like
the truth, like honestly, like probably this is unpopular opinion, but probably I mean really, Carol Baskin might have not killed her husband. That's not nearly as interesting as this
What if
woman,
she did?
what?
Yeah, no,
That's the
like
thing. Yeah, right. But what? Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know. I don't know. You can get in some serious legal trouble if
right.
you bring up that question of what happened to your husband. And I don't think you actually don't know. I think you
Yeah,
do know. I think your tigers knew too, but you killed those tigers. No, but like I think everything with like I don't know. That's why the whole MJ documentary kind of just like didn't make much sense to me. I was just like, okay, we're now gonna have to watch another fabricated story about something that was real. And if I really wanted to know about something, I would go ask. I think the most genuine way in this, I don't think this could work because it would take so much fucking time. The most genuine documentary about something that happened recently would be going out and asking a lot of people their opinions or their memory of, like, if you wanted to do a documentary on 9/11, you don't interview 3 firemen and 4 policemen. You interview like
right,
100 different
right.
you know, people who were there, 100
Which I mean,
eyewitnesses.
like that sounds the best thing, but that'd be a long
Oh
ass
no,
documentary. It's
it would be really, but when, and that's another problem. It's like like the amount of time someone's willing to
yeah,
dedicate their attention
hmm
versus, well, if I just skip, this point and this point to get to the main point, no one's really going to get mad at me because I only have a certain finite amount of
yeah,
time. And I see that, I'm like, what the I mean, yes, but at the same time, it, will you ever, it's almost as if, hey, if you didn't know about this story, this is the story. But we're not going to tell you every single thing about the story. We're just going to tell you the things that we found that we think are interesting. If you want to know more, you can go do your research and you can go find more shit, but you don't have a Netflix budget, so good luck doing that.
right.
That's literally how I see it. And I'm just like, oh, come on. Like, so just recently I finished filming a music video
Oh yeah, yeah,
for my friend.
yeah,
And that whole tangent was
yeah.
leading up to this. And one conversation we kept on having, or I kept on bringing up because, I love him. He's like my best friend and I don't want him to look stupid.
Right.
And
Now, I remember you talking about this a little bit before you went to
yeah,
do
I
it.
was just
So
like,
yeah,
how in the hell do you shoot a rap video without making it seem like you're trying to be someone you're not?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that is the hardest thing to do, especially if it's your first, not just my first video shooting, his first video being
Right.
in, and his first video like reciting a song with a camera in his face.
Yeah, it's tough. That's
Because it's really easy to look like just that one
so.
white boy.
Do you overlay the audio? I assume you do, right?
So the way you do it is at least for me, the way it worked for me this time, and I think I have to find a better way. You play the song as loud as you can, closest to the mic you're using,
Okay,
which is
interesting.
usually the camera.
Yeah.
Because when you can have like,
Does that throw off kind of like how it sounds though in the video?
no,
Like,
in the video you use the actual stem,
oh, okay. But
but
then
you want to
then you can
match
match it
Yeah.
up. Okay.
So
Alright.
the best way of doing it is matching when the song starts, and usually audio sounds different than a loud ass like start of the song.
Yeah.
The problem is sometimes if the speaker kind of fucks up in real life and the start of the song isn't really the start of the song, so then you have to find like that one beat
Like some
somewhere.
like sort of like a
Yeah.
unique sort of like
Which
spike of a beat.
happened
Like yeah.
one time in the
Yeah.
when I edited it, and it sucked because nothing looks more it looks like one of those dubbed old Chinese Godzilla movies where the English is like not
It's, like,
matching up to
slightly
the words.
off, like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it worked out in the end. You saw it, right? You saw the music video.
I don't think I have.
You haven't?
Actually.
I'll show it to you later. I think it's good. I think Jake, Jay Rich, however he wants
Yeah,
to
shout
go
it
by.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out my boy Jay
Yeah.
Rich. I think in the end, I think we both created something that allows him to express himself without looking like he is trying to racially appropriate.
That's a
the
big
rap
thing,
game.
right? I know you were. I
That
know
was-
I know you were talking about that before. Like, how do
Woo!
you make this white dude look like,
He-
not
He likes
racist?
right? He likes the art. He's not trying to just cash a check.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think we did. I think because when it comes to music videos, there's different types. You have like the Travis Scott, ASAP Rocky music videos where it's like super trippy.
hmm
There's like 1,000 effects going on. You have your
like hype sort of
hype, the crowds around
half
you.
naked girl is going
Yes.
like
Oh, the slow motion booty shakes all the time. You have your no, not even that. The whole music video is almost shot in slow motion. I don't know if you've ever. I think I talked about this on an early episode. Diced Pineapples by Rick Ross. Most of that music video is slow motion because they're just on this beach. They're in this really nice ass house. There's women pouring them drinks slowly. They're walking around in their bikinis slowly. It's like Rick Ross looking off into the sunset slowly.
So, and that's what I haven't seen this music video, and that sort of music video. Like, do you see him mouthing the words at all? I guess
most of it's like
or is it
almost
just
50-50.
like,
50-50 him.
But that's enough to. Like,
it's a slow song, so I don't even think him saying the words was like the main point. It was almost showing because like Diced Pineapples has something to do with like how much wealth he had, yada yada yada, something like that. But then you have your I think the most standard music video is you go to at least 3 different locations.
Right.
You perform the song, and you have B-roll, which is just random shots of you guys doing whatever.
All right.
And you interject those 3 locations with the B-roll.
Interesting.
And that's the whole music.
So you go to 3 different locations and like film the entire song, basically.
Usually, you do the song. At least this is what I like to do. I like to get the person. Or at least what's worked for me in my one time doing this.
Right, sure.
It's
in your professional experience.
In my professional experience as making zero money. Right. You get them to run the song like maybe 3-4 times. And if you don't have a speaker, you use your car. If you don't have your car, you literally hold the phone up to the camera
right next to
and you play it. And if the artist knows the song well enough, it doesn't matter if he can barely hear it because he wrote the song and he's performed it. But once you do that 3 or 4 times in one location, you have to make sure each location is different. Because the first time we shot, we were in his backyard and there was like a forest behind him. It was fine. But then I started editing the video and I was like, wait, this just looks weird because it's just in one spot. So then I was like, look, we need to go to other places. So
yeah.
Then we went to this other location where it was like more of an open view. It was like some hills behind us. And then there was a third location where we went downtown and we went to some place kind of away where it was like buildings in the background. And then we went to another place. So we had 4 where it was nighttime by that point, and there was just the city street behind them. So there's cool. Like different locations, and then interjected between the transitions of the places is just B-roll. And B-roll is just like him texting or him talking to a friend.
Right. The sort of like that. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I got you.
And that not only is it easy, not only could you could really crank out 30 in a month really doing that, but it gets pretty stale.
Yeah.
And me being the only person shooting and editing it, I can't really put any crazy effects in there.
Right.
And because I think if you want to use crazy effects, you have to use a lot of crazy effects.
Right.
Because
you
just use one. Commit
to it.
Yeah, you just use one. You
that looks like they like somebody fucking like just figured out how to like use that sort of effect, and they just kind of like penciled it in. I was like, all right, I want to use this. Like, that's like
is that it? You want anything else? No, I just want that. And obviously, we're rocking on a budget of I'm using camera equipment that I have.
You own, right?
Yeah, but like that's it.
Yeah,
nothing else. And it's not like we're gonna go hire a crew.
No,
especially in Southern Virginia.
No,
especially during quarantine. There's not much going on. So we're posting it tomorrow. Hopefully we don't get copyrighted because we couldn't find the beat, but I don't think that'll be a problem. The beat was free, and then someone took it off of the internet.
Oh shit! They heard that a viral video is about to drop.
Viral video, dude! I will give like $500 to like charity if this breaks like 5.
It's very generous of you.
I'm a broke person. That's a lot of money in I'm not Jeff Bezos.
I know.
I'm some egghead about to be the first trillionaire ever. Man, it's just like, I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens because I really hope that it is received well and not like, yo, who's this white boy?
That's the thing, yeah. It's a fine line, right?
The song's good though, so it's like as long as he gets the recognition, I think it's gonna be chill. I don't know. I was excited about it. I didn't get to my other topics, but I don't think.
Yeah, no. You got anything else? Let's.
Nah, I'll save that for another time.
All right, sounds good. We'll be back soon. Yeah. What? Why are you laughing though? What's
because the. All right, whatever. So there's this one story. I told you last night. I have to say it. I can't. We're gonna end it on this. And I don't know. I didn't think of any good jokes to come with it. I just think it itself is too funny.
What's that?
It's the Lynchburg. You got Liberty University around. There's a
Yeah.
lot of good Christians out there.
Sure.
But I'm a Christian. But
Right.
sometimes biology doesn't really stop you from, trying to get your nut. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You may be the best Christian ever, but you ain't busting a nut in a while. Something's gonna feel weird about it.
I'm like barely remembering this conversation from last night.
All
Now
right,
it's slowly coming back to me. But,
so there's some people out there, that they just don't know how to find answers to those questions because there ain't no way they're going to their teachers. There might as well be other pastors. They ain't gonna go to church and ask this question. Ain't gonna go in a mass, Father. How do I bust a nut? So they go to where? They go to Google, my man.
right.
And just the idea of this happening is so funny. So someone told me that their friend, they saw their Google search history, and I'm not gonna judge this man because everyone's gonna find their nut. But he tried to search up how does a good Christian boy get a blowjob. And I can't just I can't even begin to question how that conversation would go down with a girl that would be Christian. like all right, Jessica, Bible study was amazing. I just
fucking you pray, I've been a good Christian all day,
I've been a good Christian all day.
But just how do I
get that sloppy
get a
toppy, Lord?
blowjob?
How do I get that dishwasher
Please,
9000?
Jesus. Show me the light.
Can I get the Super Soaker 9000, please, Lord? I just really need it right now. You're going up to your group leaders after what, your Wednesday service?
I got a question.
No, you go, Morgan, I just want to say, first of all, I loved your prayer. It was just so impactful to me. But
made me think though.
Do you know how to give good Christian head? Do you know how to just lay it down like a real one? Give me. I want a slop. You know how Moses parted the Red Sea? That's how sloppy I want it.
Is that sloppy?
It's water. I mean, God was pretty clean. He hit the flex on him. He did, spread the shit.
That's true. Oh no, God spread diseases, dude.
Well, that was to the Egyptians who were bad people.
Yeah, still spread diseases though.
We're going back to the Christian head. I don't want to go.
All right.
I can't begin to think about how that
conversation. We won't get into this too much further.
Who is going okay? Googling it once, fine. Maybe you want to find out.
You never Google some weird shit, dude.
I Google weird shit all the time.
You definitely Googled some way weird shit.
I've Googled way worse shit, but I'm not letting anyone find it.
Right, that's true. Yeah, it's pretty.
It's for me.
Pretty careless to let that be found.
And God alone. Yeah. And that's all who's going to know until I get drunk one day and I
tell everyone.
Oh my goodness. I just like the idea of someone trying to start that conversation, just being like, Christina, could you give me just a little good Christian head? Just a little bit. And she's just like, oh, what do you mean? And he's just like, I mean, you can I don't know. You can hold the Bible while you do it. I don't know. You could take one of the Bible pages.
Do you think you pray as you receive the head?
If I ever, that sounds like the beginning of a Criminal Minds episode. She brings her head out of the sudden. She brings out like a steak and starts stabbing her. I mean, if you're receiving some sloppy toppy, I know a Lord Jesus is coming out every once in a while. But if she starts going, she going, oh Lord, help this man. All right.
That's it.
I can't do it anymore.
I think we're done.
Oh damn! All right, everyone, stay safe out there. We'll be back probably next week. Things are gonna be back to normal.
Let us know about Christian head.
Let us know in the whatever comments
in the comments. Exist. Yeah. Are there comments?
I don't think.
Find
so.
a way to comment.
Find a way. Send the email at www.goodcushionhead.com.